Hey guys, working with Meeko here. We've been having a little bit of trouble with the crate and him not really wanting to go in. And then when he does go in, he spins around and he's not happy. He's coming at the crate door, snarling at us. I don't really think any of it's very serious behavior in the fact that he's like looking to bite us, but it's something that we have to work on, right? As we're going through a training process and we're working on reactivity. To some dogs, it's a game. So any chance that they can play that game of, vocalizing at someone and making them like, ooh, react in some sort of way, they get rewarded through that process. So as we're working on his dog reactivity, right, it's important that we look at everything as a whole and try and reduce as much of that that want or need that he has going on in his mind to play that game. So with the crate, he's not super thrilled about when we want him to go in, right? If I just try to guide him up, for the most part, he's not interested in going in, see how he's protesting. Right now, I could apply a ton of pressure and drag him into the crate, but there's no cooperation there, right? He's not willing to do it. So in order to kind of overcome this conflict of, hey, I want you in the crate, and he's like, no, I don't want to go in the crate, I have to change his mindset. And one way to do that is crate games, but for a dog that's that resistant to going in, there's something that I like to do. I've done in the past. It's been a while, but I'll use a crate like this, airline crate that I can split in half. And what I'll do is I'll take the top off, so it's just the bottom half of the shell, no door, and I get the dog working in there, back out, in there, back out, in there, back out, and get them really wanting to get in there, right? Get them offering the behavior a little bit, and then we'll put the top on, and we'll work through the same process, right, to get them to find it rewarding to go into the crate, still no door being closed, and then once we get through that process, we add the door in, and we practice closing it, opening it, having him come out, finding it's rewarding for him to go into the crate and have the door closed so we can change the mindset on this experience for him. So I'm going to tether him quick. I'm going to separate the crate, and then we're going to get started. Let's go, bud, over here. Now that I've got the top part off, it's a little less enclosed for him. Now he's already getting in, right? Now I didn't ask him to do that. He did that on his own. If he were to do that again, I definitely want to reward that, right? That little bit of an offering to check it out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get him started, maybe turn on a little bit of engagement, get him a little bit motivated, then start getting him to go in and out or on and off of just the bottom half of the crate. Meeko. Yes. Oh, good boy. Yes. I'm just going to drop some food in there. Now he's allowed to take it or not take it. It doesn't matter. You'll watch, he doesn't want to put his back legs in there half the time. So what I'll be working on doing is getting him to move his back legs in as well, not just his front paws. I'm just dropping food in there, letting him eat it, and then I'll let him come back out. I'll give him some food out here, and then I'll get him to go back in. Ideally, I want him to offer the behavior. Yes. so I can start marking it. Yes. Right? Just like that, where he steps in. Now I'm manipulating him a little bit with my movement. Yes. But I'll start fading that over time, where maybe I take a half a step towards the crate and he goes in, yes, on his own, and I can reward him for it. Yes. All right, so now I've kind of got a little bit more cooperation going. If you saw his back leg step up there, he was like, oh no, I'm all the way in right now. So he might be hesitant to do that again right there, right? So I got to get that buy-in again. Yes. Right, and that's the only way he's going to get rewarded right now, is now I know he can do it. He's got to get all 4 paws in. Yes. And I just let him come back out, right? So there's no restraint to come out. There's no rules. It's just, yes. It's just get all 4 of your paws inside of there, inside of this little box, and then come back out. Yes. Good. Now I wanted him to spin. That's why I rewarded him over here. I wanted him to spin instead of backing out like he's been doing. Yes. Good. So that spin gets him a little bit more comfortable. Yes. Now he's spinning a little bit more on his own. All right, so it's just about manipulating the dog a little bit, make him think that it's a fun game. And it is, yes. It's rewarding. Now this is his breakfast, right? So he's hungry, which is helpful. Yes. I mean, now I have all this cooperation. Good. Now he's hanging out in there. Good. I'll reward that. Good. Let's go. Come on. And we'll do it again. Good. Getting the boy. All right. Good boy. Let's go. Yeah. Want to go in the crate? Yes. Very nice. All right, so I built up some cooperation already. You can see how that just in a couple minutes, we have this picture going on here where he knows what's going on. And likely he's done this game before, right, with either his owner or another trainer, which is why he picked up on it so fast. But when you have a dog that gets easily frustrated by leashes and barriers, dog-reactive dogs, right, leashes, barriers, the crate can be an example of a barrier, the crate door, fences, the leash prevents them from going around, windows, doors. So when there's a lot of frustration built around that, good boy, he actually offered that, that was nice. When there's all this frustration built around that, sometimes it's something that you have to constantly work with until the dog is over it, right? And you don't know when the dog's over it until they are over it. So this is probably a game that we're going to be playing with him almost every time that he comes in and out of the crate in the crate room while he's here for a board and train, right? Good. But this is going to help prevent frustration from boiling over and him making a lot more mistakes. So I put him on tether. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this top shell back on with no crate door, right? Just the top. Just so he can see this picture, right? And it might change. I had all this cooperation without it being, almost a complete crate. And now it's going to be close to being a complete crate. The door is not there. But to him, that might not matter. And he might be hesitant of going in anyway. So I put it together and we start at the same spot. If he goes right in, great. If he does not go right in, that's fine. Go crate. All right, so I'll throw food in. See how he's hesitant already, right? So I got to start closer in the front, let him eat that food, and let him work his way in. Ideally, I'd like to get him to spin in there again, just like I had him in the bottom half. But if I can't get that, right, it's not the end of the world. Got one paw in there, it's good. Right now the important part is is that I'm not stopping him from coming out, right? I'm letting him come out. I'm letting him have that freedom when he's looking for it. If I were to push him in there, right, that just creates more conflict, right? And I'm not looking to start a fight with the dog over this, right? He doesn't want to do it. It's a big deal to him. That's fine. I got to teach him that it's not a big deal, right? And I can only convince him by doing repetition work and making it a rewarding experience, a positive experience. If I were to use a ton of leash pressure or remote pressure or prong or something like that, I'm just going to create all this negativity around it. And he'll likely do it. He'll go in and out. But guess what? He's like, I'm doing it because I don't want to feel discomfort, right? Right now he's doing it because he knows it's rewarding. I want to see if I can get him in all the way. Get those back paws in. Good. Right, so he stepped in all the way. I'm going to give him more food to let him know that I like that. So I let him eat all that food at the back of the crate. Still not closing the door. I don't even have the door on. And I'm just going to let him come out. Let's go, bud. Good boy. Let's go back in. Let's go. All right, so just building cooperation is a really big part of this. Let's go. Yeah. See if we can get those back paws in again. Hopefully. Let's go in. Now, the fact that his back paws aren't in yet doesn't bother me. It just shows me that he's not ready yet, right? And that's fine. If the dog's not ready, they're not ready. Now, I'm going to see if I can create a little bit more excitement and get a little bit of motivation for him to want to get in all the way. So I'm going to come this way. Good. Now I'm going to go like this. Quick. Throw it in. Let him go in faster. Oh, good boy. Over here. Look at that, right? So just a little bit of momentum helped him step in all the way. And I'll just do the same thing. Yeah. Good boy. Yes. Very good. Good boy. Good. Let's go. We'll just do it again. Yes. All right, I'm going to start marking that moment. And he can hear that, even though he's eating food in the back, right? He can hear me say yes. And then I'm giving him all these rewards while he's still in there. And then I let him come out again. Good boy. Ready? Over here. Oh, go get it. Yes. Very good. Let's go. Good job, bud. Ready? Oh, what's that? Oh, over here. Oh, in the crate. In the crate. A little bit of hesitation there. I tried to not throw the food and see if he would go in. So now I got to definitely throw the food. Yes. So that he understands what I want from him. Good boy. Right? And he might understand what I want from him, but he's not willing to do it yet. Right? Because he's worried that I'm going to close him in there. Yes. Very good. Good. Let's go. Good job, buddy. Ready? Let's go. Yes. Very nice. And it's going to be a lot of repetition like this of in, out, in, out, in, out until he's ready to have that door on. Yes. and not have all this hesitancy to go in and out. Come on out. Good boy. Let's go in. Yes. Good. Eventually, I'd like to not throw food in there and have him just go in and then turn around and get a reward for it. But we'll see if we're getting there yet. Yes. Right there. I didn't throw any food. He went in. He still gets rewarded. Right? So there's no trickery. I didn't get him in and then like, haha, you don't get anything. I'm still rewarding him. And then still letting him out. Come on. Let's go. Yes. Very nice. Right? Now, probably in the next session, I would add the crate door and start closing it. Right? But at this point, I don't want to add any more pressure to this exercise, to this game. So I'm just going to let us end on that. Right? And let him be happy about this experience and not put any more pressure on it. Now he's going in on his own. Yes. Very nice. Right? All from just a little bit of work, building some cooperation. There's no punishment there outside of withholding food if he doesn't do it, right? If he doesn't do it, he doesn't get a reward. So there's that correction, right? If you want to call it that, or punishment there, negative punishment. But for the most part, this was all built on cooperation. Yes. And like I said, he's likely done this before, which is why this process went so quick. But he needs to stay up on it so he can not have that conflict in his life and that frustration in his life, so that everything else in his day-to-day is much easier. Good job, buddy. Now he's just offering it. That's a good boy. Good boy. Free. Let's go. Let's go.